In a world where the glitz and glamour of fame often overshadow the realities of life, Justin Bieber's journey has been one filled with highs and lows, struggles and triumphs. From his rise to superstardom at a young age to his public battles with mental health, addiction, and personal turmoil, Bieber has long been a symbol of the pressures that come with fame. Yet, despite the millions of fans who adore him, behind his bright smile and smooth vocals lies a man still fighting to find peace and balance in his life. Recently, an image of Justin and his wife, Hailey Bieber, taken at Disneyland, seemed to encapsulate everything that's been weighing on him in a way that few other moments have. The backdrop of the happiest place on earth, a destination meant to embody joy, laughter, and the carefree nature of childhood, stood in stark contrast to the somber expression Justin wore in the photo. His usual vibrant energy, so often seen on stage or in the public eye, was replaced with a visible exhaustion. It was a portrait that spoke volumes, an image of a man who was present physically but emotionally distant, overwhelmed by invisible battles. For many, the image was a sharp reminder that mental health struggles don't disappear with wealth or fame. In fact, for someone as visible as Justin Bieber, they can often be magnified. It's easy to assume that celebrities like him have everything figured out, that their lives are as perfect as their public personas. Yet, like all of us, they too face challenges, some of which they choose to keep private, while others are impossible to hide from the world. As one of the most successful pop stars of his generation, Justin's life has been lived under a microscope. From his teenage years as the world's most famous heartthrob to his struggles with addiction, and later his openness about depression and anxiety, he has shared the most intimate details of his personal life with the public. But even with all that vulnerability, there are still moments where the pain becomes too much, where the weight of expectations, both from the world and from within, becomes unbearable. For Justin, the image of him at Disneyland should have been one of joy, a moment to embrace the magic of a place that is known for creating cherished memories for families. Instead, what was captured was an image of a man who, despite being surrounded by his wife and the supposed happiness of the park, appeared lost in thought, perhaps struggling with emotions that were too difficult to express. His face, though not contorted in agony, carried an unmistakable sadness, a far cry from the youthful exuberance that once defined his public persona. Hailey, standing beside him, was the picture of calm and support, but even her smile seemed muted, almost as though she too understood the weight of the moment. While many fans have admired the couple for their apparent love and devotion to each other, it's clear that even the strongest relationships are not immune to the strains of mental health struggles. Hailey, as a constant source of support, has been by Justin's side through many of his battles, offering strength and stability. Yet, even with her presence, there was an undeniable sense of vulnerability in that moment. It was a raw, unguarded snapshot of two people navigating a complex and sometimes painful journey together. Justin's battle with mental health is not new to the public eye. He has been open about his struggles, revealing in interviews and social media posts that he has spent years trying to manage his anxiety, depression, and other personal demons. But despite the openness with which he shares his journey, the image at Disneyland showed that even with the love of his wife, the support of his fans, and a career that many would dream of, he's still not immune to the pain that comes from within. It's a reminder that mental health issues are not something that can be fixed overnight, and for those who face them, the road to healing is often filled with setbacks, confusion, and moments of doubt. There's an interesting paradox in the life of a celebrity like Justin Bieber. From the outside, his life seems like one of endless luxury, lavish homes, private jets, adoring fans, and a seemingly endless stream of successes. But these external markers of success often mask the internal struggles that come with living a life under constant scrutiny. Fame doesn't shield you from pain, it often amplifies it. The pressure to always appear happy, to maintain the image of the perfect life, can create an exhausting cycle of pretending everything is fine when, in reality, nothing feels right. For Justin, the sad reality is that no amount of fame or fortune can erase the feelings of isolation, anxiety, and doubt that have plagued him throughout his career. Despite his best efforts, there are moments when the weight of it all feels unbearable. And that photo, taken at a place meant to symbolize happiness and wonder, served as a stark contrast to the reality of his emotional state. It was a glimpse behind the curtain, showing fans and the world that even those who seem to have it all can still feel lost, broken, and in need of healing. Hailey has been a cornerstone of support throughout Justin's journey. Their relationship has weathered many storms, from the intense media scrutiny of their early romance to the more recent struggles with their personal lives and mental health. Justin has been candid about the impact his struggles have had on their marriage, admitting that there were times when he felt unworthy of her love and support. And yet, despite all the turbulence, they've managed to navigate these challenges together, finding strength in their faith and their commitment to one another. Still, it's impossible to ignore the toll that mental health struggles can take on a relationship. There's a vulnerability in their dynamic that speaks to the complexities of love and partnership, particularly when one person is dealing with issues that are hard to talk about, let alone understand. The pressure to always appear strong, to always be the perfect partner, can be overwhelming. But in moments like the one at Disneyland, where the facade cracks, we see the reality. Relationships, like people, are not perfect. They are messy, complicated, and at times, difficult to navigate. Despite all of this, there's hope in the narrative. Justin's journey, though marked by struggles, is also a story of resilience, of learning to ask for help, and of growing stronger in the face of adversity. His openness about his struggles has helped to normalize conversations around mental health, reminding fans and followers alike that it's okay to not be okay. That even the brightest stars have their dark days, and that seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. For Hailey, supporting Justin has meant putting her own needs aside at times, but it's also meant embracing the idea that healing is a process that requires patience and understanding. Together, they are learning what it means to grow as individuals and as partners, navigating their journey with grace and compassion. Yet, as we look at that one photo, captured in a moment of silence amidst the noise of Disneyland, there's an undeniable sadness. It's a reminder that life, no matter how beautiful it may seem on the outside, can be fraught with internal battles that are invisible to the world. And it's also a call for empathy, understanding, and support, for everyone, no matter how famous or ordinary they may be. So, as we watch Justin's journey unfold, as we see him continue to push through the pain and find healing, one question remains. In a world so obsessed with perfection, how can we become more supportive of those who are silently struggling? And how can we create a space where it's okay to not always be okay?